Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, and in today's review I'm going to be taking a look at the awesome Black Mamba, God of War, Dark of the Moon, Masterpiece Scaled Optimus Prime. Now this figure is essentially an oversized and enhanced Masterpiece Optimus Prime that was released a few years back. Now before I go in depth in the review, if you are in the market for picking one of these figures up, then I definitely recommend that you should check the links down in the description box below, where you'll be taken to Showsy's store, who currently has this on pre-order, set to release later this month. This figure to me, when I first saw images of it, was a must buy, as the Dark of the Moon version of Optimus Prime has always been my favourite rendition of the movie Prime, and this version here actually takes inspiration from the Takara Tomy Striker Optimus Prime in giving us a more gunmetal, darker feel to the overall character. Now not only do you get the base figure itself, you also get an entire plethora of accessories. The largest and the coolest of them all, in my opinion, is this super nice looking shotgun. This has got so much exquisite detailing on it, even some pinstriping around the flames to match the Optimus Prime design. We also have got some nice copper paint throughout the sculpt as well, with loads of different tubing and different pistons and pumps. It really does look like an awesome cannon. Now not only is this just a standard accessory, but if you actually push this button underneath, you do get the entire front nozzle of the cannon light up in this super awesome orange LED, which I think looks absolutely fantastic. And when you've got this held within the hands of the figure, it really does make you feel as if though Optimus Prime is ready to do some damage. This is an incredibly bright LED bulb, and it really does look fantastic and just adds some more life to an already awesome looking accessory. Now, not only do we get this, but we also get the Energon axe that we see Dark of the Moon Optimus use in order to deal the fatal blow to Megatron with in the movie. This has been painted in a silver colour, however has been cast in an entire transparent clear yellow plastic, so this is rather a delicate of a piece. It doesn't feel as if though it's going to break, however I do think that if you do apply too much pressure, it could potentially easily snap. We can see here that the whole handle section has been done in a nice silver paint, whereas the tip and the blades of the axe have in fact been left to give this yellow transparent plastic effect. We do have some nice Cybertronian hieroglyphs, as well as some nice silver detailings actually in the center section of the axe itself. Moving on, we also do get another blaster for Optimus, as if he didn't already have enough firepower as it is. This to me appears as if though it is just simply an upscaled of the actual cannon that came with the original MPM Prime. This too, once again, has been enhanced. In regards to this, the color scheme is a lot better than what we got on the official version, with a much more gunmetal scheme, with a really nice singed effect towards the tip of the actual barrel of the cannon itself, which is quite cool. So definitely, once again, another really nice looking accessory. We also do get a pair of Energon Swords. Of course, movie Prime wouldn't be complete if he didn't have a set of blades. These once again have been cast in that same transparent yellowish plastic that we got with the axe, however have got some nice silver paint detailings on them. So really nice accessories are of course essential to this particular version of Optimus, but it doesn't end there at all. We also get a pair of Energon Hooks. We see these primarily in the Revenge of the Fallen Forest scene, however it's nice to see Black Mamba include them with this particular release. And once again, much like the other accessories, these have been cast in a transparent plastic with a really nice silver paint application in them to bring out some of the sharper details of the sculpt. And then finally, for weapons, I should say, we do in fact get a pair of Knuckle Dusters that we see Optimus use in Dark of the Moon, obviously to deal the fatal blow to Shockwave. It's nice that they did in fact include a pair, as in the movie we only see him use one, but it's good that they've given you that option so that you can in fact have Optimus dual wield these Knuckle Dusters, and these two are really nicely detailed, and I'll go into more detail of how you can implement them when we get into robot mode. And now for final accessories, we also get a set of 4 interchangeable tires that just look more expanded than the ones we have on vehicle mode. These are the ones that you're supposed to swap out for when we get the figure into robot mode, just to give it that more transformed effect, as in the movie the wheels do in fact expand and the rubber tire does look vastly different than how it looks here in vehicle mode. So it's cool that they did include these, as it does really add a different feel to the figure when we have him in robot mode, and just gives us that little bit more of movie accuracy. So with all of those accessories now finally out of the way, we can begin taking a look at some of the sharper details of the Optimus Prime figure within vehicle mode. I love the orange fade that they've got here for the front sections of the wheels. Unfortunately, it doesn't carry on the top of the hood much like it does in the movie, but to me, I do believe that's perhaps perhaps a design decision due to these actually becoming the chest pieces of Optimus. Perhaps they didn't want to jeopardize the look of the robot mode. This entire section here is in fact a really nice die-cast piece, and it really does give a very good weight to this figure. Upon picking it up, it definitely feels as if though it's very substantial. This is really well done and very high grade die-cast, and we even have some nice paint decos here of this almost aquamarine greenish tint for the bottom lights. We've also got some nice detailings here. We do have a silhouette of where the Autobot emblem would be. However, as this is a third-party product, of course, we don't have the full detailed sculpt. We also have got a really nice reflective, almost metallic paint deco for the blue of the figure. As I stated, this to me really does give me Striker Optimus Prime vibes with the more darker colour scheme rather than the chrome that we are used to seeing movie Optimus obtain. We've got some nice gunmetal paint apps here for these air filters, as well as some of that nice greenish paint for the light bulbs on the front. We've also got some nice pinstriping around the flames. All the paint apps on this are incredibly crisp. I cannot pick out any paint bleed on this whatsoever. And even on the back, we've got some nice pinstriping on the flames as well. I really do like the reflective paint apps that they've used for this blue as well. It really does give you a very metallic vibe to this. And as we turn around to the back, this rear section too has also got some nice details on the backs of the lights as well. So a really awesome looking truck. It does of course roll, which you would expect. All the wheels are in fact rubber, so it's just a super cool looking vehicle mode. In terms of die-cast pieces, as I stated, this entire section here is die-cast, and the tips and the actual entirety of the smokestacks are die-cast. I don't believe that this is die-cast, nor this section, but there is definitely some die-cast infill structure under here where the feet are. So there is definitely quite a substantial amount of weight to this figure. As I stated, this does definitely feel like a really high premium product. So without further ado, let's get this figure transformed up and into his robot mode. And here we have the God of War, or as I like to call him, the God of Everything, fully transformed up into his robot mode. Now, Black Mamba have done an absolute incredible job of taking that original MPM Optimus Prime figure and just enhancing it so much more in order to make it more movie accurate. Now, this is nowhere near what we got with the Wei Zhang / Black Apple Optimus that I reviewed a few months back. It's definitely not to that level of complexity, and it doesn't have that many changed pieces when compared to that figure. But comparing this to the original MPM, this is leaps and bounds better. Everything on this figure clips together well in both robot mode and vehicle mode. Everything feels incredibly durable. The ratchet joints are fantastic, the plethora of accessories, and due to the significant increase in die-cast pieces, this figure is an incredibly weighty piece. Now, as I stated in the beginning of this video, this is an upscale, so this figure is absolutely huge, hence why I am unable to give you a full shot of it. But you can see here, for the most part, the lower leg regions are exactly the same as the original release. It's merely the entire torso area that really does get changed up. Now, something which I left unchanged when transforming this figure from vehicle to robot was how you actually switch the wheels out, and this was just to show you how you actually do it. So you simply literally just pop off the pre-existing wheels that are already on there, and then take the additional set and peg those on there. Now, comparing the top to the bottom, you can see here that there is a slight increase in terms of how big these tires are, but you can see that in terms of a design, these are definitely a lot different than these ones. This whole space here is a lot thicker than what we got on these ones, so I do definitely prefer to keep these on for this particular mode. However, for those of you who are not too fussed, you can literally leave these top ones on. Now, turning to details, this figure truly is a masterpiece. The head sculpt is exactly how we would expect it to be, very reminiscent of the movie Optimus Prime design, with some really nice silver and copper paint applications for where the ears and the tips of the eyes are. We've also got a nice aquamarine colour for the actual pupils themselves, giving a really nice metallic flare to the eyes as well. As this is an upscale of the original Optimus Prime MPM figure, we can in fact rotate the faceplate around if we so choose. So flip that around and then bring this down, and here we do in fact reveal the mouth plateless Optimus with the actual mouthpiece. To me, I do always prefer Optimus to have the mouth exposed. It's just something of mine that I've grew up with, and I do actually prefer this as it has more detail than the mouth plated version. We can see here that the biggest change is that they've actually added a brand new section to give us the abdomen piece for the Dark of the Moon Optimus, and this looks absolutely fantastic. We can see so much detail here, and we've even got some nice detailings here which were absent on the original MPM. Super nice paint applications as well, very gunmetal, and definitely go with the overall look of the figure. Something else that's quite substantially changed from the original version are these shoulder pieces. These actually have a lot of conversion to them compared to the original releases, and I definitely think that they look a lot more movie accurate for it as well. These are on springs, so they do literally spring back into place when you are articulating the figure. And another area of improvement, or adjustment should I say, is the fact that they've actually included these back pieces here on where the arms are, just to give you that more Dark of the Moon look. And then rotating around to the back, they've really changed the back section up, giving this whole piece here a much more movie accurate positioning, as well as adding these pieces here for a more movie accurate look. So really quite a nice looking figure. We can see that even the backs of the arms are painted. Super cool, nice detailing. I love the metallic paint apps that they've used on this. It really does give this figure a very metallic look. And as stated previously, I really do think that this figure does harken back to that Striker Prime. Now in terms of articulation, the head is on a swivel joint, so it can swivel left to right and hinge up and down. The arms are on ratchet joints forwards and backwards, and hinge joints out to the sides. As stated previously, these pieces here do spring back and forth. However, when moving this up and down, you are more than likely going to want to pull this piece back down as well. There is a full 360-degree rotation where the bicep is, roughly 90-degree bend of motion at the actual elbow on a hinge joint. The wrists come through the full 360. The fingers, much like the original MPM, are articulated at the index finger and then at the three other fingers which are grouped together. He would have thumb articulation, however, due to my own negligence, I did unfortunately shear that off. But this side here is in full working order, and the plastic is rather durable. It was literally just my ignorance of applying too much pressure when inserting the weapons. We do also get a waist joint which can rotate ever so slightly side to side. It's incredibly stiff. We do get ratchet joints kicking forwards and backwards. We do get hinge joints out to the sides. 360 rotation joint at the thigh, however it's hindered by the wheels. Double joints at the knees, one is ratcheted, one is just a hinge joint. And then finally for the feet, they can hinge forwards and backwards and side to side. So the articulation is essentially exactly the same as that original MPM Optimus release. Now in terms of implementation of some of the weapons, the first one I'll show you are these Knuckle Dusters. These rather easily just peg over the top of the fist, so you just simply just snap it into place, and you can see this is one I prepared earlier. You can have Optimus dual wielding the Knuckle Dusters that we see him use within Dark of the Moon. A very subtle touch and just gives a very subtle change to the actual look of the hands. However, it is definitely accurate to what we see in the movie, so it's fantastic to see them actually include these to give us that extra sense of accuracy. Here is Optimus wielding both the axe and the Energon Sword. It pegs in exactly the same way as the original MPM Optimus Prime, so it is just simply porting it into a slot there, and the axe is just held in via a tab on the axe and a slot within the palm. So very simplistic to switch and match the accessories. Just pulling this one out quickly and demonstrating it with one of the battle hooks. We can then just peg those in, and here we have Optimus wielding one of the hooks that we see him use within the Revenge of the Fallen movie. And then finally here we have Optimus wielding that awesome looking shotgun that I showcased before, and this definitely is able to recreate the "we will kill them all" scene from Dark of the Moon. He looks absolutely magnificent when wielding this blaster. And of course we can take the smaller ion blaster and peg it in much like we see here, so I won't go into too much detail on that. And then we can of course flick this switch underneath and have the actual barrel illuminating as if though it's ready to blast some Decepticons. A really awesome looking figure, and I definitely do think you get a lot of value for your money with this. A really substantial figure, much improved from the original MPM version. Dark of the Moon inspired, so what's not to love with a more darker metallic colour scheme. An entire plethora of accessories, some of which aren't even necessary for this particular iteration of Optimus Prime. And then finally this beautiful LED electronic blaster that once again they didn't have to include, but I'm just so glad that they did. So with all that being said, if you are in the market for picking up this Black Mamba God of War Optimus Prime, then definitely check out the pre-order listing down in the description box below for Shozi Store, where you can pre-order this figure and have him in your collection within a matter of weeks. I hope you enjoyed my review on this figure, and if you did, please let me know down in the comment section below, and definitely be sure to check out some of my other third-party Transformers figures. Thanks for watching.